Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya. We are reading from Canto 9, Chapter 4, verse 46 and 47. So, 46 has no purport, so I'll just quickly read it. Evam bruvana utritya chatam rosha pratipita taya sa nirman me tasmai krityam kalana rupamam. As Durvasha Muni said this, his face became red with anger. Uprooting a bunch of hair from his head, he created a demon resembling the blazing fire of devastation to punish Maharaj Ambarish. Okay, 47. Tam apatantim jvalatim Asihastam padabhuvam Vepayantim samudviksha Nacha chala padanripa Nacha chala padanripa Tam apatantim jvalatim Asihastam padabhuvam Vepayantim samudviksha Nachachala padanripa. Tam apatantim jalatim Asihastam padabhuvam Vipayantim samudviksha Nachachala padanripa. That demon, or eigentlich that, and then in Klammern demon. Apatantim, coming forward to attack him. Zvalatim, blazing like fire. Asihastam, with a trident in his hand. Pada, with his footstep. Bhuvam, the surface of the earth. Vipayantim, causing to tremble. Samudviksha, seeing him perfectly. Seeing him perfectly. Na, not. Chachala, moved. Padat, from his place. Nripaha, the king. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Dasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Taking a trident in his hand and making the surface of the earth tremble with his footsteps, that blazing creature came before Maharaj Ambarish. But the king, upon seeing him, was not at all disturbed and did not move even slightly from his position. Purport. Narayana Paraha Sarve Na Katushchana Bibhyati. Bhagavatam 6:17-28. A pure devotee of Narayan is never afraid of any material danger. There are many examples of devotees such as Prahlad Maharaj, and who was tortured by his father, but was not at all afraid, although he was only a five-year-old boy. Therefore, following the examples of Ambarish Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, the devotee should learn how to tolerate all such awkward positions in this world. Devotees are often tortured by non-devotees, yet the pure devotee, depending fully on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is never disturbed by inimical activities. Ich will kurz mal.
Was heißt awkward?
Awkward, unbequem und so irgendwie, ja, unbequem im Sinne von vielleicht mental unbequem oder manchmal ein bisschen peinlich oder einfach nur nicht umständlich oder schwierig. Was wollte ich jetzt machen? 6, 17. Ich will den Vers, die hier angegeben wird, kurz mal lesen. 7.
Hat er den angegeben?
Ja, ist okay. 6, 17, 28. Okay, also dieser Vers, this verse that's given in the first line, Narayana Parasarve Nakatushchana Bibhyati Svarga Pavarga Narakeshv Api Tulyarta Dashinaha. And it reads, devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurunmritam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Darati Swapnandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, interesting two verses. As Durvasa Muni said this, his face became red and with anger. Uprooting a bunch of hair from his head, he created a demon resembling the blazing fire of devastation to punish Marash Ambarish. Upon seeing, no, that's not right. Taking a trident in his hand and making the surface of the earth tremble with his footsteps, that blazing creature came before Marash Ambarish. But the king, upon seeing him, was not at all disturbed and did not move even slightly from his position. So, two interesting things. We can see here that Durvasa Muni's anger was so powerful that he could create a being from it. And if you've ever seen a comic or a cartoon show or whatever, a lot of the times when people are angry, they like start pulling out their hair and they become crazy and whatever. And I'm sure, certainly I have, the experience of being so angry that it starts feeling like something separate from you. I don't know who else has had that experience, but this in the Bhagavatam, it shows that anger can almost become a living thing inside of us, and that's why it's so dangerous. And then we see, so that's the first lesson. Try and curb your anger, try and stop your anger before it gets to that point where it becomes not controllable. Another thing on anger, another example is if you see small children. So small children cannot regulate their emotions at all, and some children have really, really bad anger issues, and it's interesting to watch a child building up to that point where it's like the tipping point where you cannot do anything about that anger anymore. It just becomes too wild and you can't really control it anymore. So you have to stop them, you have to kind of stop the child from getting angry or from getting to that point where it becomes uncontrollable, because it's bad for them and it's bad for everybody else who has to see or hear it, but especially because it's bad for them. And then we see another thing, another aspect of a pure devotee is that they are absolutely fearless. And Maharaj Ambarish, he was a kshatriya, so obviously he was used to fighting and he had no fear. So basically, a kshatriya is someone who is fearless, and maybe not, this is me speculating, but maybe not being completely fearless, but being able to handle fear in a way that they're not devastated by it, or that they are not paralyzed by it. And in this case, Maharaj Ambarish was fearless. He just stood his ground, he didn't move, and that is a lesson to all of us. Like we read in the other verse, that devotees, for them, the pure devotees engaged in devotional service, for them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested in only service to the Lord. Now, I have not gotten to that point where I don't care whether I go to the hellish planets or whether I stay here or whether I get liberation or go to the heavenly planets or wherever. I'm pretty fond of going up, not down. But so it's very difficult for us to understand. For me and people on their way on their spiritual journey, it's difficult to understand how not to be afraid of death, because this is what Maharaj Ambarish is facing. He's facing death, and Prahlad Maharaj also faced death, and they were just absolutely not afraid. And so you have two things. Number one, a devotee of the Lord engaged in devotional service is not afraid of death. Whatever comes, good, bad, mundane, ugly, whatever, they just don't care. They just, whatever it is, please just engage me in your service. That's the only prayer that they ever have. And on the so that's the one part. And the other part is that you cannot come to that level of please engage me in your devotional service. I don't care if I die or go to the hellish planet. You cannot come to that stage if you still believe that you are the body, or if you are in any way, shape and form attached to material things or to your body. Just recently, quite often, I think, it's very morbid thought, but it's very realistic, that whenever just Gordon had to go and work far away, he had to go overnight, and then, I mean, whenever he has to leave, or someone has to leave, or my mother has to travel somewhere, or whatever, then I think, then I pray for their safety. But then there's a voice in my head saying that if it's their time, it's their time, whether you're going to pray for it or not. Safety is only there as long as Krishna wants it. And if it's the time for the person to go, then it's their time. Then no amount of prayer is going to help. I mean, Krishna has been swayed by prayers, and that's why when any of our swamis are sick, or just recently Pataka Maharaj was in hospital again, and then there's always a call to prayer for Maharaj's health, and I can understand it. Nobody wants to let go. Nobody wants to let go, but a prayer, and nobody wants to let go because we are attached to that person. And in some way, we're attached to everything, not just the person, but also the body of the person, because once the body is gone, that person is also gone from us. So death and mourning is, especially for devotees, I think, is not so much mourning the person that leaves, but mourning the loss, mourning the space that they leave behind. Because yes, of course, we believe that they are soul and they go forward and they go to better places, so we can't deny them that, but we're left behind. So that's a lot of the mourning process, is that person is no longer there. I can no longer interact with him or her. And then, so that's for other people. And then for us, if your life is in danger, it's a very natural thing to want to preserve life. In the Bhagavatam, it also says it's our duty to preserve life. It's our duty to fight for our lives, to stay alive. And that's why when someone attacks you and wants to do your bodily harm, you are allowed to fight back. Why? Because this is your vehicle that Krishna gave you to serve him. So you have to protect what Krishna gave you in order to serve Krishna. So that's why we are allowed to protect ourselves. And then we see Ambarish Maharaj. So he was so fully liberated from this idea of I am the body that he just had no fear. So when we start seeing, when we get to a level where we truly understand that the most important part of us is not our body but our souls, then the body just becomes basically like furniture. I mean, we have, you can also be attached to your furniture, because we have a wonderful couch at home, and Gordon and I love that couch, and it's wonderful to have it. But it's a thing. It's a thing, and we use it. So once you get to a point where you understand that the essence, the soul, is the most important thing, then the body becomes just that. It's a tool, it's a vehicle that you use. And when you can't use it anymore, absolutely can't use it anymore, and you can't do maintenance on it anymore, and you can't repair it anymore, then you give it up. Then you just think, okay, time to let go. And we do that with all our things. When clothing becomes full of holes, or we can't wear it anymore, or we too small, we either put it in the bin, or we give it to someone else, and it's not like you're crying over it. So that's why really advanced devotees, it is a painful process to leave the body and for the body to dwindle. All of us getting to a certain age knows that the body starts aching and it's painful and all sorts of stuff go wrong. But it's just that, it's just the body, and yeah, it's just something that you have to tolerate, like the heat. 2 weeks ago we had a heat wave, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it except just, it's hot. And you do what you can to stay cool, and you just tolerate it. So, and when we get to that point, at which point I am not, but I've seen people die, and I've seen the process getting to death, and I've seen how devastatingly painful it is. But I've also seen how, if you're faced with your own death, how people manage to make peace with it. So Ambarish Maharaj was completely at peace. He's just like, okay, he understands that if it's my time, it's my time. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can ask Krishna to extend it, but why? I can just as well serve Krishna in any other body that he gives me. That's the most important thing. That's why Krishna says pure devotees don't pray for anything else other than service. Because they know Krishna takes care of them, he gives them a body, he gives them whatever they need, bodily sustenance, food, water, in whichever form they have. But the only thing that we don't know, that is why it's so important to protect your life, is that especially if you're still trying to become pure, is, for instance, if I had to die right now, I don't know where I'm going. I'm hoping that Krishna gives me a birth in a devotee family, because I'm pretty sure that I'm not yet there, that he would just take me back. I still have some work to do. So, but that's the prayer. That is the sincere prayer that we have. Is Krishna, whatever happens, whether I become an ant, an animal, a human being, just put me somewhere where I'm with devotees, put me somewhere where I can serve you. That is the most important prayer. And so, yeah, there was a thought that I had now that just flew out of my mind. So I find myself, whenever we pray for someone else, I mean, it's always good to pray. I mean, we all know of people who are going through really difficult times, and we can pray, yes, help them to get material things, because some of them are really struggling just materially also. But the prayer that I find is most helpful is, Krishna, just please let them not forget you. Whatever people are going through, if we pray for someone else, is help them to tolerate it, help them to not forget you, and help them to grow from it. And please just, yes, if it's your will, make it easier on them. But that's the most important thing, is all the Swamis, Kadamakanana Maharaj, everybody, Prabhupada's last words were, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. So Prabhupada tried to teach us that Krishna is in full control, either indirectly via karma, so whenever, if you don't chant, if you just live your normal life, then Krishna's law of karma is there to sort of direct everything. But once you try to become a devotee, Krishna takes full control, and he knows best. And if you're still attached to material things, it's a terrifying thought that you are not in control. It's very scary to think that, yeah, if it's my time, it's my time. And that's why that is why it's so important to just do what we need to do every day. Chant your rounds, read Bhagavatam, and try your very, very best to serve Krishna in the best way. Your best is not always equally good, but the full amount of effort has to be there, whether it's 20% or 30% or 80% or 100%. The full amount, whatever it is that you can do, has to be there. And then so devotional service is yes, it's about serving Krishna, but it's also about, so it's serving Krishna with love, but you cannot serve Krishna with love if you don't trust him. And the trusting process is there. One of the big things in the trusting process is that Krishna knows best, and that you can then just let go. You don't have to control everything yourself. Krishna gives us responsibilities in this life, absolutely. So Krishna gives us things in this life in order for us to grow spiritually. And if we don't meet those responsibilities, if we neglect our responsibilities, we are definitely going to feel it. If you have children and you don't take care of them, or if you have a wife or a husband or friends or whatever, if you don't take care of your relationships, Krishna is definitely not going to be happy with you. And you're going to suffer in some way. So we have responsibilities, and we have our responsibilities that Krishna gives us is our opportunity to serve him. And that is why Krishna says, no matter what you do, no matter what ashram you are, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyas, whatever Krishna gives you to do, that is your service, and you can do it with that mentality, is that even if it is just earning money, you earn money, why? Because you need to feed your family. Why? Because you need to keep them alive. And while they're alive, you teach them about Krishna consciousness, or you earn money because the temple needs money, and because the temple, that is our spiritual center. So any material thing that we do, that's why Krishna says, Prabhupada says it's not so difficult. You just need to do it with the right consciousness, not for your own benefit, but for Krishna's benefit, for the devotee's benefit. And then everything you do is spiritualized. So Ambarish Maharaj is the perfect example. He's the devotee that used everything he had, every part of his body, everything in his kingdom, every part of his realm, he used to serve Krishna. And that is why he wasn't afraid, because he fully trusted him. He, Shishi Radhamanan Ki Jai. So, learning to serve Krishna is learning to trust him and learning to believe that he loves us. And therefore, if we do that, we don't have any fear. Because that's why Prahlad Maharaj had no fear. He knew Krishna loved him and he knew Krishna's everywhere, and therefore, why bother? So, thank you very much. Any questions, any thoughts?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kamala-sita. So for me it was very important that you said this attitude of the pure devotees, it doesn't matter if they are good, if they go to hell, no, or to heaven, or so, that is due to that they are totally free from material attachments, from attachment, for me, so how far it goes, no? With these, our main learning task in Krishna consciousness, that we are not the body, but the soul. Could you please repeat why pure devotees only pray for service? Could you please repeat this?
So, pure devotees only pray for service because that's the only thing they want to do. And they understand that that's the essence, because what is the main goal of the soul, of the jiva, is to serve Krishna. And so, and we understand that yes, it's our dharma, that's what we are supposed to do, but we also understand that it's a great gift and it's a great mercy to be able to serve Krishna. And that's why, and because the pure devotee understands, especially the devotees that if you say, for instance, just to make a practical example, a lot of devotees, if you ask them, any devotee, you can ask them, how did you meet the devotees, how did you join Krishna consciousness? A lot of them have horrific stories about pain and suffering. I just recently, we spent some time with a friend who's a soldier, who went, an American soldier, so he went to war, and he told us stories that are, it's nightmares. And when in Kali Yuga, in the material world, the soul knows, the person knows that we suffer. This is a place of suffering and we want to get out of here. But we don't want to get out of here for us. We know that the only way to get out is to serve Krishna. And we do it with love. So service is the most important thing. That's why the devotee just prays for service, because he's attached to Krishna. So we are attached to material things. And what do? We cling. We hold on to whatever it is that we have. Why? Because we're attached. And if we flip it around and make it spiritual, we become exactly like that. We become to Krishna. And how do we keep Krishna? We keep Krishna by serving him. So that's why the pure devotee, the devotees try and say, just don't kick me away, don't leave me, please just let me serve you, because that's the only thing that I want. Because we're also attached to Krishna, is that we just don't want to leave him. And that's why we know that if we serve him, we don't leave him, because service to Krishna is being with Krishna. So That's why we don't care where it is. Hauptsache, main thing, serving Krishna. And so we see that often is that Sita Devi, the wife of Lord Ramachandra, she said, I don't care if I live in a palace. I don't care where I live, as long as I'm with you. That's the main thing. I don't have to have a palace. I can live in the forest. I can do austerities, whatever, just as long as I can be with you. So that's and we're not quite, or at least I'm not quite there yet. I like my comforts. I have dreams of things that I want. But Krishna is so merciful because the devotees, even though we have, so we go from being completely attached to material things for us, we want it because we want to enjoy, to having material things because we want to use it for Krishna, to not caring if we have material things because we just want to serve Krishna. It doesn't matter what he gives us. So there's a progress. There's a process of purification. So that's why Krishna says it doesn't matter how many material desires you have. If you have material desires, fine, just come and ask me. Don't go ask someone else. Just come to me. So Krishna just wants us to be with him. And the purer we become, the more developed we become, we realize, we just want to be with Krishna. So that's the most important thing. And that's the thing that we pray for. Doesn't matter all the frills and all the things that go around it, doesn't matter. Just as long as we can be with Krishna. So
yeah, thank you very much. I remember Vishwamatra Maharaj said during the Bhakti Shastri course these days, the good thing is when we have these desires and we bring it to Krishna, these desires become less.
yes.
And I remember also a quote of my Guru Maharaj that he said, this prayer, also spielt keine Rolle, ob wir im Himmel oder die Hölle oder das Wort, he said this is not our level, we should pray to go back to God at the end of this lifetime, this should be our prayer, because he said this other is not our level. So, as I understood.
So we just want to go back to Krishna, but we also understand that Krishna may have service for us. That's why I think, did I read it somewhere? That was Prabhupada's thing. He's just like, I go where he wants me to go. So we don't pray for liberation or relief or whatever. We just Krishna. I had one. There's one last thought. Krishna is remembrance and forgetfulness, and currently he's showering me with forgetfulness, but okay. Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakota Drubhyascha Kalpasumedevcha, Patitanam Pavanpyo Vaishnavamo Namo Namaha. Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai.